Howdy folks, welcome to my wire wrapping tutorial video. Today we'll be making some wire wraps similar to these. With me I have gauge 16 and 26 size wires. It's commonly what I use, works really well. Feel free to go whichever ones you feel comfortable with, but that's about what I use. So to begin, gonna wanna get our thick wire, being the gauge 16 for me, and the thin wire, the 26 right here. Just want to attach this by pre-coiling the thin wire around the thick a little bit. Gonna want to do it a few times just so it's secure. Once you have the wire attached, right where it is attached, you're going to want to bend in a 90-degree angle, which is going to allow us to do the twisting technique. Bending the back in another 90-degree angle may also keep the wire out of your way when twisting. Let's get coiling. So to begin the coil, or this is how I do it at least, I keep my finger right by the beginning of the wire to keep it in place, like so, and you can just begin twisting. As you coil, if there's any spaces in between where the coil is, feel free to just push the coils down. Push them down into one another as they go. This twisting technique may take a second to get the hang of, yet don't give up. Just keep giving it a shot. You'll definitely get the hang of it. It's fairly easy. As you want to continue your coil, you could keep adjusting your 90-degree angle part closer and closer to the coil, just so you could keep it in control better. The amount of coil you're going for is about as big as your stone, obviously. Once you've coiled a decent amount, enough to fit nearly around the perimeter of the stone, we're gonna want to disregard this back edge thin wire that's coiled around. Now keep in mind that was securing the coil the whole time, so when we cut it off, it's most likely going to be very loose. Also, you want to take note of how much thin wire you have left on your coil. You want to have enough to do a couple swift moves to secure the stone in, so maybe have like a foot left over or so. That's about what I have here. So from this point on, with your back wire cut off up here and your other excess ready to go over here, gonna want to decide which way you want the stone to hang. I'm gonna choose this way, vertically sitting up here. Pinch your coil around the perimeter of the stone, ever so gently, like so. If you're working with decently malleable wire, which most wires are, you could just give her a good squeeze and it will most likely stay around there. There's a couple ways to go about this part. I sometimes hold the stone, the back flat part of my hand, keep it down with my thumb, and once you're ready for that initial twist, you can feel like it's gonna be the one. You're just gonna wanna hold it tight. Just twist these back two wires around. A little bit enough to bend an arc for a handle. You're gonna wanna secure the stone, so we can feel free to flip it over at this point. I'm gonna secure it from the back over here with this thin wire. We're just gonna go straight from the top to the bottom. You're gonna want to keep in mind where it's gonna cross around the front once you attach it. So we're gonna start from the top, go toward the bottom, and attach it down there, around here, most likely. String it just like you're sewing almost. Keep it pulled tight. Sew around the back. It looks like that right at the moment. From the front, we have it looking like this. Just gonna wanna do the same thing I did over there. Attach it, string it through. You don't want to cover the stone, obviously. You want to be respectful of the stone, so just try to, you know, cinch it in there with minimal wire viewing. But it is part of the design. Some people do swirls, some people do all sorts of stuff. I mix it up a lot too. I'm just gonna keep it real simple right here though. Just wrap it around like so. Flip it back over to the back. Ready to secure it in again. Going on the same side. Just want to pull it through. We're going to come back and secure the bottom just so it doesn't fall out. Flip it around in front again. Just going to want to attach it maybe somewhere up top, like right around here maybe. Right around through there is where I'll be coming. I don't want to pull it down a tiny bit so it stays in place. Like so. Flip it back over. Attach it one last time on the bottom just to make sure. And from the back it is now secured. From the front should be as well. We have this last remaining wire. We're gonna go straight up with it and use this excess to make a little coil for the handle design. From this point on, you're gonna wanna make sure you got enough to work with up here. I'm gonna do a couple more myself. Gonna wanna bend this into an arc backwards. Feel free to use a tool if you like, just like that. Gonna wanna take your wire cutters and eliminate of the one of the two back thick wires that were twisted. Gonna wanna cut the shorter of the two compared to the other side. So from this point on, we're gonna wanna grab our thick wire, wrap it around back, get the thin wire, sneak right underneath the thick wire where they both meet on the back. Right there, and start to coil it on. As this will be facing out, the thick wire, just like earlier in the video, gonna wanna keep your finger right there, and you could actually just twirl the wrap itself to get a little coil going. Alrighty, feel free to use the rest of your thin wire up on the thick wire. So if you'd like, you could just kind of pinch the end. The wrap all ready to rumble with this last little coil made. Just gonna wanna fold this around the front of the wrap to kind of wrap it all up, no pun intended. And for the final part of this wrap, to get rid of this last excess wire, just gonna wanna bend it like so, C shape, and just go right through there over to this side. Feel free to grab your tool and just pull it the rest of the way. Want to make sure it's not going to be poking anybody while anybody is wearing it. To finish this wrap up, you're going to want to find a little space to put the wire through. It's all pulled up. Should look something like that. At this point in time, you can reach in there with wire cutters. Whatever you got left, gently pinch it in there so the wire will not get poked by anything. And voila, we have our finished pendant. Alright, thank you very much everybody for watching. Give me a like, comment, subscribe would be lovely. Let me know what you thought of the video. If it's helped you in any way, any questions, feel free to comment, let me know. Thanks again for watching. Everybody have a beautiful night.